Welcome to this week's episode of Lagnia-POD. We got a short staff here today. Everybody announce yourselves.
I'm Ashley Trice.
I'm Kyle Hemrick.
Tommy Hicks.
And I'm Rob Holbert, the host. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. It is Nappies Week, the 24th Nappies.
Yeah.
Ashley,
Yee Haw.
24 years of this silliness.
Yeah.
Giddy Up.
Giddy Up, Yee Haw. It's a Rhinestone radio theme, so that's why we're all making weird Western
Yes.
noises.
Maybe
Saddle up.
Can you give us a horse noise? That's okay.
That was kind of an ill horse. But,
yeah, there we go.
That's better. I can't do that.
Oh, well, okay.
My
Well,
cheeks are too big.
Yeah, I'll every now and then I can help you with some sound effects. So we've been doing this a while.
Yes, we have. This is the 24th. 24th. Actually, it's the 23rd Nappies. It's our 24th.
It's the 24th.
Really?
Yep.
I thought we didn't have it till 2003.
First
Nappies.
It's 24.
Okay. Yeah.
Trust
all
me.
right. Good. All right. I was trying to wrap my head around that earlier because it was like if we didn't do it until the second. Anyway. Okay. 24 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this year we've got the lovely Mystic Dollies of Folly on the cover.
Yes.
They are at Braided River. The Mystic Dollies of Folly won for Best Mardi Gras Marching Society, and they are a fairly new group. So that it was, they stole it from the Widows and the Mistresses and the Wild Mauvillians.
They've become actually one of my absolute favorite groups. I love the Dollies of Folly.
And they just
quite
love
popular.
this cover with them on it because it radiates joy to me.
It does.
Yeah, it's got a
they look
Miss
happy.
Kitty kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Miss Kitty?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
it
got like
also-
a
Wow, that
from
is
way
saloony
Is that
kind
like
of vibe.
Gunsmoke or
That
Bonanza?
is,
Is
Yeah,
that-
that's
Which,
Gunsmoke.
Kyle,
Yeah.
Also,
It's
Gunsmoke was
Gunsmoke.
before my time.
Okay, Time Machine. Get out of here.
Okay. But anyway, they're at Braided River, which won Best Brewery and Best Local. I mean, what's next?
That's local saloon.
Did you watch Hazel too?
I probably
Did not watch
Yeah.
that one. Hadn't heard of
Waiting
that one until you
quotes
just said it.
Waiting for quotes
Yeah.
from some Amos and Andy or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway.
Anyway, sorry to get sidetracked. But they're at Braided River, and Alan, the bartender, is pouring them a beer.
Yes.
And
A
it
big
kind of
old
has
beer.
that. Our goal was to kind of have, they're the Dollies, so they already have that kind of country western vibe, the glitzy country western
Yes,
vibe.
that's key.
Yes, but we wanted to also have kind of a saloon feel. So we have Alan, the bartender at Braided River, is pouring them a nice Sudsea beer for them to celebrate. And I think it's one of my favorite Nappy covers we've had in a while.
He has kind of a Festus vibe.
God.
I
Okay.
knew we were going to go to Festus. I just knew there was no
Anyway,
way
there we
Festus
go.
was not
Yeah.
making it in.
I'm going to ask Marshall Dillon to come in here and take you out of here.
But anyway, so hundreds of winners, of course, and just about every category you could ever imagine. I mean, yes, it's too many, but I mean, I will tell you as someone who, I'm very involved with the ceremony part of the Nappies, and, everyone sends in their acceptance videos. And some of these people are so moved by it. They're so excited by it. I mean, it literally makes me cry when I see some of them. And it's usually the people who don't get recognized as often, I mean, media, there's tons of things we enter.
Right.
And arts, they have all kinds of shows and stuff, but they're like the categories that everybody's like, oh, that's so boring. The handyman or the lube job or the best lube job. And I'll be honest, we added that because I thought it was just funny.
Yeah.
Because
it sounded vaguely dirty, right?
Yes.
Well, and you got best hoo-ha doc.
Yeah,
best
but the lube job doc. I mean, not doc.
Lube job doc.
The
Okay.
best lube job. So oil change place. It turned it out to be a really interesting story. The lady is a Native American and a female owner of an oil change place, which seems probably a rarity. First, that she's Native American and that she's female and is doing that. So,
May well be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool that there are a lot of professions that sort of go unsung. There are a lot of people that go and they do their jobs every day, and they don't have an association that gives them a prize every couple of years or whatever. Like the media, we all, we put our stuff in every year and you get all these awards.
And multiple different
You guys
things.
did a great job and pats on the back and that kind of stuff. And this is a pat on the back for a lot of folks. They get it. The community votes on it and they get told, hey, you're the top
Yeah.
one. And that's pretty cool. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite things about it. Second favorite thing is that, like I had one of the doctors that I was talking to about being part of the ceremony. He was like, I would really love to, but I'm taking this opportunity to take my whole staff downtown to really celebrate this and celebrate with them because this is their win too. And that just made me happy too.
I think it's amazing. And it is really a credit to you because this is your baby and you do this every year. And it's amazing what it is and still is after 24 years of doing it. Because I, of course, remember what it was like when we started. And it was,
in a tiny little back room of a restaurant.
And it was silly. And some of it was, I'll be perfectly honest. A lot of it was sort of like a jab at the press registers.
It was mean-spirited.
Some of it was a little mean-spirited. Some of it, there were some negative awards.
We had worst service,
worst bathroom from hell. There were a lot of things. There were some that you didn't want to win, and that we slowly weeded those out because people really got so angry. But it was, the very first ones. The awards were some kind of we had a picture of some fat Elvis impersonator on a piece of
so bad that we designed. It looked
it looked horrible, and they're real classics at this point. And then for years,
Callahan still has one hanging.
Yes, there's still one. If you want,
there was at Osmond's, but they closed. But those are like the last two I've seen out in the wild. Yeah.
If you and then if you every now and then, I don't know if maybe Callahan's, maybe somebody still has some of the ones where we glued stuff to plaques. That was our thing for a while. We would glue.
Well, in Uncle Henry's video, he had his, but those were CDs, so those stayed on.
Yeah, the CDs did better because we would glue. The media people got CDs. Some of them got
the music.
We had the reporters got gold painted. Everything was painted gold except the CDs. But the gold painted handheld recorders, that we stuck to a plaque. Those did not last very long, I don't think. But my favorite story of all of those was we had a very efficient intern one year, and she spray painted all the stuff. Everything was spray painted and glued and set to go, and it was sitting there for a couple of days at least ahead of time. And we got ready to load up that day to.
I think that was Pete Teskey that did that.
Was it somebody who oversprayed the one who oversprayed everything? And so. There had been so much stuff that was sprayed, so much gold paint sprayed on this. When we picked up the plaques, everything just fell off.
Like the day of the ceremony.
The day of the ceremony. No. So I ran to the hardware store and bought Gorilla Glue, which I had never used before. And of course, being neither one of us bothered to read the directions, we're just like, it's glue, right? It's strong glue. So we we put the Gorilla Glue on the thing.
And it was some sort of foam thing, which at the time, I think that's all they had. Now they have regular.
Yeah, but we didn't know what it did. So we did all that. And then I think we both went home, got dressed, came back to collect these things. And they had foamed up
so
foam
gravy was coming up over the pork.
Kind of a brown foam all around everything. So then we had to take scissors and cut the foam off.
Which did not work well.
It didn't look good. Yeah. But
was this the same one that had the goldfish dye on the tables?
It might have been.
That was a different year, I believe.
Okay,
that was maybe year 3 or
and when we had
4,
it at the temple downtown.
And it was like 400 degrees
But that's
in there.
not why. Well, it probably contributed.
I'm sure it didn't.
I'm sure, but
I'm sure the lack of air conditioning did not help the goldfish.
There was air conditioning, but it was just every time those doors opened. It was
the only air conditioning was the 2 very elderly bartenders breathing. That was the air conditioning.
But no, our intern, I sent her for whatever reason. I guess since it was at a temple, we thought goldfish had an Egyptian vibe.
Yeah.
So
exotic.
That would be our table centerpieces. So I sent her to B&B Pet Stop to get bags of goldfish to put in there. Well, she left them in her car in July while she was getting ready.
Oh, that's a death march.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them survived. but
they were in the bowl, and then
they
by
all
the time,
just slowly.
they were just dead in the bowl. They were like, the idea was going to be that people would take a goldfish home, that they could take a goldfish with them.
Yeah.
But they basically
one did survive, and we took it out with us that night.
Yeah, I don't think it made it through the evening, but it did go out with us that night.
So what do you think some of the early Nappie Awards would bring on the collectible market now?
I mean, I think some of them are probably
$5.
They're probably like as good as your top Beanie Babies. I think they're pretty much they're the Princess Di Beanie Baby and the Fat Elvis picture.
The Fat Elvis, I probably put down
at
least a 20 for that one.
Yeah, I'd pay $25 to have one of those.
Every computer that might be on is long.
Oh yeah, those are good. The
hard to recreate.
But that was that also, the one at the temple was kind of fascinating because they had like one of those little tiny rolling bars that was just big enough for two people to stand behind.
Yeah.
And I mean, the combined age of the bartenders was 312, and the line was unbelievable.
And even we had probably not even I would say probably less than 100 categories at that time, when it's like over 400 now. And it was still just a really big party. Even in year 3, it grew really pretty quickly.
It did. Yeah. And I think, I still think one of the things that has really been a genius move along the lines along this time is the banners. People like the banners. They hang them up like they won NBA championships. There's, I think they keep people, everybody likes those better than the forks and the Elvis and those things. They look better.
Hard to believe.
They look better. Yeah, it's hard to believe that the awards themselves really did.
Well, we have added a window decal now the last 2 years as well. So that's been fun.
That's nice.
Put it on your vehicle.
I think
or your business door. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The biggest thing to me is that it still is a lot of fun, and people still enjoy it, and they're still doing this. I mean, I know there are complainers every year and people who claim it was rigged, or they are mad because they didn't win, or somebody should have won and it wasn't in there or whatever. But by and large, the vast majority of people that are involved in it enjoy it. They have a good time.
Yes.
And
if you don't win one year, you're probably going to win and the next year or the next. I mean, it's just,
well, you got to work at it. You got to get out there. You got to campaign, we got to get the votes. And it's,
if you want to win, yes.
But there's been so many things. I mean, it has changed so much. Remember when we did it in, we had the ballots in the paper.
Oh my God, that was the worst.
And it was that was a nightmare, because the day before it ended, or the day it ended, there would just be these dumps of just garbage bags full of, ballots.
Yeah.
We're sitting there counting ballots. My absolute favorite moment from all of that was when we were over near, we were at the bakery at that point. Our office was at the bakery building, and the paper was being delivered that had ballots in it. And this woman pulls up as they're being unloaded from the truck, pulls up like at a screeching halt, jumps out and grabs 2 bundles and jumps in her car and escapes with them. Just like, we're just sitting there watching like there was a heist.
Well,
man.
I mean, that's what kind of,
it's a full-on heist.
That is, the counting was terrible. That was, it almost got impossible to do it. But the stealing of the paper ballots is what really put an end to.
Yes. The paper was just getting stolen. Yes. It was just like the whole paper, that week's papers were getting stolen. So like the news stories and advertising and all this.
We would have just paid to put an insert in there and just.
But they still would have stolen the papers, because we did make them somewhat insert like at some points, hoping that would stop, and it never stopped. It was.
But the whole system we have now is much easier,
far better
with the times.
Far better.
It's hard to think about that. Actually, the internet was not that
right.
Big. No. The voting software did not exist when we started.
No, there was no software.
It's hard to really think about a time like that.
Yeah, it was very analog back then. Yeah. It was really different.
When did the movies begin, and can you give us a preview of this year's?
Gosh, well, I'll have to say, one of our former reporters started that, because it was after
the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The German one. I didn't think that was the
German
first one.
parody of the press register going under.
Yes, I didn't think
I've
that was.
seen that one. That's
that
on
was
the
only
internet.
like I thought we had them
So
before
that would have been 20. When did it?
That was like 2012 or so, 2013.
2012 when it went to the exciting changes for our readers. What was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2012.
That one you can still find on YouTube.
Was that 2012?
It was 2012.
Yeah, so that's probably when it started.
I thought I could have sworn we had some movies prior to that.
No, that was the first one because then we were like, oh, well, now we're going to have to do this.
Yeah.
So,
so the movies have been going
big
on.
Production. So the last few years, we've had Governor Ivy.
Yes.
As a main character.
Yes.
We love Governor Ivy, especially who plays Governor Ivy.
Yes.
And since this is her last year in office, we thought it was her year to have her farewell.
She gets she gets to steal the show.
The name of this one is Meemaw's Farewell.
Meemaw's Farewell.
Yeah.
Meemaw's Farewell. So yeah. Yeah.
And there might be a musical number that at least two people in this room are really excited about.
I'm thrilled about
that. Solar Farm.
The ring came off my pudding.
Solar Farm, the musical. Anyway, it'll be fun.
A little bit of a tease.
Yeah, a little bit of a tease. You got to show up to see it. But it's so this is a Western theme. I think people are very excited about this one. I know I am because I don't have to wear a suit.
Well, I tell you,
I'm just wearing chaps.
I wonder. I ordered my husband.
Chaps, no shirt, nothing.
I ordered my husband this really cool Western shirt, and I just got a message today that it was stuck in customs, and I was like, "Was it coming from Argentina?"
Yes.
I mean, we don't have country Western wear.
It's coming from China.
Yeah.
That's great.
The far west.
The far
west.
The far west.
But no, Allison, who helps, our copy editor and Mabel mask editor, and she helps me tremendously during the Nappie Awards. So she went to Boot Barn, and she has got these fine boots that she is wearing. She's like, I'm going to start wearing these all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tempting at the Boot Barn. I was like, man, I should get some more boots here. I like these.
I'm just wondering how much business they like that Cavender's and the Boot Barn.
They got a bunch. I mean, they got $120 out of me. Yeah. I got a belt buckle and a shirt.
I'm like, I wonder if they even.
It's going to be something, folks.
I'm thinking some advertising should come our way from that.
I know. Well, I'm wondering if they even know, like, why are we getting a sudden influx
There's a surge in
these
business.
Midtown looking middle-aged people?
Why did this guy in flip-flops come in here and buy boots? Anyway, but so yeah.
Sure, you need some socks to try these.
It definitely started looking around. I had attempted. There was a shirt I really wanted that had some eagles on it that were really pretty amazing, but it was going to take too long to get here
because it was also coming from the far west,
China. It was coming from the far west,
far wild west,
from the far west. Yes, so
that's a shame.
Yeah, it all becomes west if you go far enough. Anyway, but it's going to be an exciting time. It's always fun, and then the after party we'll have it over at the garage.
Yes,
so it'll be a good time.
Yeah,
they've never been at an after party locale before.
But now that they have that nice large patio, it is large enough for us to take it over. So.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. Well, we're looking forward to it. I'm excited. Always excited when it comes. And always excited when it's done.
Exactly. Amen, brother. Amen.
All right, folks. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and talk a little bit about some news. Well, we'll talk sports first, but then we'll talk a little news. Back. And we are back. Tommy, it is sort of the great pause before the storm here with as far as sports go. Right. So there's not a lot going on right this minute, but there are a couple things we want to talk about before we get into news items. What's going on?
The Dauphin Street Vault, which has become a really big thing.
That's a blast.
It's really it's so cool.
It is super cool.
There's pole vaulters on Dauphin Street.
Yeah.
But it's gained national attention now, and it's been considered one of the events that count toward national rankings.
What week is that happening? When is that going to occur? That is this weekend.
Because it's normally right after the Nappies.
So if you are at the Nappies and you pass out on the street, you may wake up and see people vaulting over your head.
Over your head.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not a dream. This is real.
This is real.
Real stuff.
Okay. So it's this weekend. It's a good time. If people have not been to this, it's really fun to watch.
It's really cool to see that, and you're going to get some. You've got 4 of the top 10 ranked vaulters in the country on the male side coming, and you've got also, I think, 3 of the top 10 women vaulters in the country coming, because now they have that designation that it gets you national points in toward your rankings.
This is such a mobile event, too.
Yeah, it is.
People can go down and get a drink.
Right.
Right. And watch it happen.
Stand right in front of the bar.
You could stand on the balcony where they fly over. You know, there's a
I
thing.
think that's why it's so popular, to be honest.
It is.
I'll say that it even made its way up to corner, because there was a kid in my neighborhood growing up who would come down and do this like every year. He was on the track and field.
I
was going to say,
greatest pole vault.
Yeah.
Just for the listeners' knowledge, Corner's an actual place where people are from.
Yes.
Kyle
it's
is
somewhere in Alabama.
We're
We think it's around Birmingham.
Yes. Somewhere in the northern part.
I believe that the terminology is parts unknown, but anyway.
It's
but
the
it's
far west.
home of, what is it, Larry's Booby Trap?
Wesley's.
Wesley's
Why do I
Booby
always
Trap.
want to make it Larry's?
Yeah,
It's
why not?
Wesley's. Yeah.
Wesley ran Larry out of business.
The sign is on both sides of the sign.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Welcome
But
to.
it came, this is a big
Corner
deal.
came to town
Corner
for the
Corner
Dauphin.
comes out to the Dauphin Street Vault.
The Corner Vaulter came out. Okay, good deal.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
it's a lot of fun, and I've always thought pole vaulters have to be the most trusting human beings in the world, because they are like completely upside down on these sticks that look like they're going to snap in half. And
Please don't.
It's
especially on Dauphin Street.
Every now and then they do break, but it's kind of it's a weird sport. It's amazing that people can do it. I don't know. It fascinates me to watch it. What else we got going on? I know you said the Jags have a new radio deal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were aware that 99.5 Sports Talk 99.5 switched formats recently, and now has just all music stations of sports. That was
all John Denver all the time, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That was a home of South Alabama's sports for radio broadcasts for football, baseball, and men's basketball. So now the school has a new deal with Cumulus.
Yeah,
and they will be on, I believe, 104.5 for football only.
Okay, so don't tune in right now, because nothing's going to be happening there. Yeah, okay.
But all of the football games will be there.
Good deal.
And then they have an app called the Varsity app, which a lot of schools, most of the major schools are using now, and that's where you will be able to hear men's basketball and the baseball games. They will be streamed on that
cool.
app.
All right. Well, cool deal. We're going to switch back to a little bit on the hard news side. Kyle, this week we had a very interesting story on the data centers. I think that the county commissioners, that they basically said, we can't stop these things.
Can't stop them. It's a run. It's a runaway train. This was at the $6 billion one.
Now,
for
people
AI.
hate the data centers, right?
Folks
I mean,
don't like them.
I don't
Folks
think.
don't like
I think people of the left, the right, wherever, they just don't
can agree.
People dislike
the left
data
doesn't
centers.
like them because of all the energy consumption.
Right.
Right doesn't
the polar. Yes.
like them because of the property usage or something.
Yeah, the land values, property.
People just don't like them.
Yes.
But the people came out the other day, and the picture they painted of the woe that would befall all of us if this thing happens out in Calvert was kind of amazing.
Apocalyptic.
The temperature would go up by how much, they said?
They said there was one woman who said it would go up by as much as 20 degrees within a 5-mile circle
20 degrees.
Of this $6 billion complex that's coming to Calvert.
They would be 20 degrees hotter there.
Yes, than anywhere else.
Arizona?
Than anywhere else.
The Kensaw River would begin to boil.
There would also be some difficulty with seeing the stars, I think.
Yeah, she said, so the heat will be very, very hot, and the lights will also be so bright that you won't be able to see the stars that you used to see.
Why do we have
field.
so many lights in the data center? What is the reason for that?
Well, they got to be able to see when they're in there, when they're putting the water in the system.
They need a big like a box change.
That's what I thought.
This one is going to have some windows
lights
to
that
it.
are just that are,
well, and like the lights in the parking lot and the
How's that
lights in
different from
the
Walmart
building.
Supercenter? Yeah.
Well, there's not one in
Look, I'm not all
Calvert.
for,
That's the thing. There's
I'm
not one in
for
Calvert.
data centers really
Yeah.
particular.
But this
either.
isn't
I enjoy
even-
the AI, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure I care yet.
This
but-
stuff was crazy enough to hear. I had never heard these claims, but the one that really got me was that apparently if you build the data center close enough to a farm, it will cause cattle to go infertile.
Cattle
what about
infertility.
people?
The cattle, well, that's what stands to reason. If it's making the cows go barren, then what happens to the people? but they claim this one woman claimed that the cattle will have stillbirths, they won't be able to reproduce. And that'll really do a number on the agricultural scene.
But if
in
they
northern
die
part of
right
the
there,
county.
the extra heat would start to cook the meat right there, right?
Hamburgers,
You could have-
steaks,
yeah.
ribs.
You
I
can
mean,
actually have kind of a barbecue
I'm
right
so
there.
glad I stuck
You could have
around.
the
for
could have
this
a barbecue.
discussion.
This is well,
Yeah,
this is
you could have a
important news.
barbecue.
This is news people
Yeah.
can use.
Well,
so
People are gonna-
all of this
people are so
stuff-
mad about this stuff. They're
They
going to
are.
be so
Yeah.
mad at this
And
podcast.
that-
And I would like to point out it's not me. making-
we're not all we're reporting on is what took place at the
This
at the
is
meeting.
what was said at the county commission meeting on Monday.
And
so
then
we
the
got
commissioner
this.
said, "We can't do anything about this.
We are sorry to hear it, but we have no power to get involved.
Sorry for
which
your
is crazy.
barren cows and your 20-degree
And your
temperature rise,
sunburn and
all
your
that stuff."
no more stars.
Yeah.
They said we're sorry to hear it, but we have no power. We
Yeah.
have no zoning. We can't do anything
Just can't
to
do it.
stop it.
Well,
Well,
I
so-
mean, that's why there's a million. They call it Chemical Alley up there as well.
Well,
Yeah.
Plus
And
water
that's the other
usage,
thing.
right?
what is that?
Water usage.
The
is
water?
related.
Well, this
The
one
water?
supposedly will be a closed loop system.
Yeah.
It's what
Supposedly,
they say about all of them.
theoretically, they claim will not use as much water.
But you're going to need 7,500 gallons to like get the thing up and running, and
I
then
mean,
that'll go through the
you know,
through the
Isn't this
system.
what
mean, we got
Elon Musk
water
is
around
trying
here.
to? Isn't he trying to put these on the moon or Mars?
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's no cows up there,
I don't want to.
so
It would
you
be
don't have to
good.
I
worry
don't want
And
to
about
look
I
at
that.
the
mean,
moon and
yeah.
see that. I want to anyway.
I think it's actually Mars, maybe.
Yeah,
Let's put it on Mars. I'm down with
Mars
that.
has the water. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the icicles. Yeah,
So we're all going to be vegetarians who can't see the stars. Is that
That's
what you're
basically
about?
and we're all going
Tommy,
to be hot.
The
Well,
end
the
is
beef prices.
the end
hey,
is
at
near.
the prices beef is at now. I mean, I'm already given that up anyway. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And then we've
It's
also
rough.
had Tommy Tuberville's the appeal against Tuberville, the appeal to
Yeah.
have him removed
from the ballot for residency.
was
Yeah,
filed the other day.
That's
That-
right.
That will go before the Supreme Court.
State Supreme Court.
State Supreme
The
Court.
Alabama Supreme Court's going to hear that one because last week the Montgomery court threw out the lawsuit filed over his residency, but now that will be heard by the highest court in the state.
And it did not rule on whether or not he met the residency
Right.
requirement.
Right.
So
That's
it was
correct.
just that the court didn't have the stand or
The
the
circuit court
The-
basically said we can't
decide
handle this. Yeah.
So
This
they
is-
passed it on.
This is too much
I mean,
Tuberville for us.
And
It's just too much.
I mean, is
Too
the
much
Supreme
tubby.
Court going to say the same thing? That's the question.
Well, we don't know.
And if they do, I mean, what happens? All right, I guess. I mean, I think we have a pretty clear case here that we have said many times. It's pretty clear he lived in Florida. I mean,
Yes.
he
Yes.
at least attempted to make it look like he had some
Right.
residencies.
Right.
But let's just say this happens again, and they're all say, "Oh, well, the courts can't enforce it," and it could happen for the GOP or the Democratic
Yep.
Party. If I were the Democrats, I would be, trying to get every celebrity I could to like a Charles Barkley to do
Yeah,
the same
Charles
thing. So
Barkley.
who is ever going to be the authority on this?
Well, that's
You
what they're
know?
trying to set it up as. The political parties are the ones that get to say it. And
Mhm.
that issue to me is always a problem because the political parties don't. These are our elections. They're not their elections, even
Right.
though
Right.
that's what it. Now it's what it's become to an extent.
They're trying to close the
they-
primaries.
They
Yeah, I mean,
basically are.
But I
Yeah.
mean,
And
also, I would
you know.
say, especially in this state, you're going to where all of the at least the constitutional offices are Republican run too. So I mean, is there any? I mean, you would think that the judiciary would be the side that could be a little bit more you know.
You'd hope, but they're
But
all
they're all
elected
Republicans, too,
Republicans.
so-
So, yeah, I don't know.
So-
It's I don't know. That's not a slam on Republicans. It's the same thing if it was all Democrats. It is one party here, and Alabama has pretty much been one party forever. I mean, it was all Democrat at one point, and it switched to all Republican. Which it could, you never know.
Like all
it could
the
switch
South,
again, and but these things, it does seem to me. I mean, just from my point of view, it seems like the Supreme Court should have a say in this, because if you allow the political parties to make these decisions, you're basically letting clubs decide.
Right.
For all intents and purposes, these are elitist clubs. You have to join to be a member of our tribe. You have to, for the average person who doesn't want to join a political party, and most people in the state do not belong to a political party.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get a say in any of this. And these are the people who represent us, not them.
Well, I thought, actually, speaking of Tuberville, he came out, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, at one of those, Republican women's club or some meeting, saying that he, better get used to it. You're getting data centers.
Oh, yeah. He's pro data center. Yeah.
That just shows, actually, that is emblematic of him not living here and hearing the daily cries of, that shows you he doesn't have, his finger on the pulse, because he does not live here. If he knew that, he would know what a a politically toxic statement that is,
But then somebody said he reminded them of Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, because of the populism.
Because he populist, and populist would be saying, get rid of these data centers.
Yeah. I don't know what is going for populism.
That's
now.
Reverse populism.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
That's that reverse populism. It's popular these days. And then we have one more story real quick before we go about the bridge. Came out last week. The bridge is going to, we're going to say it again here. The bridge is coming. It's going to break ground this year.
The bridge is coming.
And,
the bridge is coming.
The bridge is breaking ground this year.
Bridge is breaking ground this year.
Anyway,
my pudding can.
Me too.
Anyway,
yeah,
it's coming.
2026.
So
2026 groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's coming this year. The groundbreaking bridge is coming this year. The interesting part of it, they claim now, is the bridge will be done in phases. Yes, phases. Let's all say phases together. So
Phazes.
So the earliest supposedly the bridge will be built, the bridge itself,
just the bridge,
would be 2031. Okay, so
that's the earliest.
We know that if you say 2031, you mean 41, right?
Or 51,
maybe, possibly. But then
41,
after that, then they would build a new bayway.
Yes. The bridge is coming first.
Tommy, you're definitely dead.
I'm not going to see any of this.
We're all going to be dead.
Yeah.
Tommy and I they will be able to drag our hearses out to the construction site, throw us off the
hey, would y'all do me a favor?
Into the river.
I'm going to be cremated, so maybe sprinkle a little.
We'll throw you off the bridge.
On the new bridge. I'm going to put you in some cement going into the bridge.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I think a lot of people around here would like to do that.
That's a nice way. That could be.
We need to get a funeral.
Maybe raise a little money that way.
Mm-hmm. That could help, because the bridge is going to be built first, and they're going to toll it. And the tolls from the bridge are going to pay for the construction of the bayway.
Right.
Which could begin after the bridge is built in 2031 at the earliest.
At the earliest.
But they're not doing anything to my precious causeway, right?
No,
not yet.
Not yet. They've not said anything about the causeway
yet.
The causeway,
leave the causeway alone.
And despite
that was supposed to be like a leave Brittany alone.
Yeah,
leave Brittany. Everybody get that.
Despite Shamari Figure's discussions about yanking the tunnels out of the ground, that ain't happening either. So hopefully we'll keep those.
But they're going to restripe the bayway, to have 3 lanes going in each direction.
I'm never
so it's
going on the bayway again. Once that
you'll be very close to your neighbor.
Going to be tight.
There's going to be a
lot of side
Can you imagine a 18-wheeler being your neighbor?
But it's only for golf carts.
I think the white knuckling will be the terminology there. All right, folks, that's all the silliness we have this week. We're going to go out and enjoy the nappies, and we will be back next week with the next episode of Lagnia-POD. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for 24 years of the Nappies. Take care. Bye.